just got out of the gym, and it's solstice, summer solstice, June 20th, and 2024. So I'm pretty sure today's solstice. And in the gym, I just had these thoughts going through my mind that I really wanted to share and just put out there for you, for, asking you what you really want. And it's because I heard this term that I can't get out of my head a couple weeks ago. Maybe I heard it months ago, and then I heard it again. It reminded me. And the term is mimetic desire. Mimetic desire, like mimic, like mockingbird, like it's like imitating something else, like a mime, like not the real thing, but a mimesis. So the reason why desire is such an important question is because it comes back to, what do you want? What do you want for your life? Like for your relationships, for your bank account, for your home, for your kids, for what's your vision? How do you want to, what are you building? This question is pivotal because inside of the work I do with my clients, as a coach, as a facilitator, as a mentor, we actually do a lot of deconstruction of beliefs, limiting beliefs that hold you back, because those are the things that actually create the obstacles that people are facing in their lives, whether it's like trouble in the relationship or lack of clarity in their direction with their business or their leadership. And always what I can bring it back to is, what do you really want? And it's actually sometimes one of the hardest questions to answer, like, what do I want? Because it's a hot seat question, and it comes back to one of the core power wounds of most people, which is shame. And shame is a master emotion, and shame is ubiquitous. And it's different than guilt, because guilt is when I did something bad. Like, I did something bad and I feel guilty. But shame is when I believe that I am bad. For whatever reason, comes from family or society or myself or some culture that I'm part of. And in order to go deeper and shift the shame, you got to tap into two powerful forces. One is healthy pride, and the other is desire. And this gets slippery and tricky because shame freezes desire, and it freezes the sense of being worthy or deserving of what you desire, and that's why it freezes it. So to really do the work is to expand and melt those frozen places and those calcified areas so that you can really become more worthy, decide that you're deserving of what you desire. So shame shifting's huge in the work of, expansion and soul evolution. But here's the tricky part is when you ask yourself what you want, something comes into mind. Like, oh, well, maybe I want a Ferrari, or maybe I want, $1 million, just $1 million. And maybe I want that nice house on the beach for my family. And so the tricky thing about desire is, as humans, we're like herd creatures, we're flocking animals. And inside of that, there's a collective unconscious. And there's a collective absorbing of what we think we should want, or what I think I should desire, like the trip to Disneyland, right? When I was young, my parents, bless their hearts, they took us all to Disneyland, all 5 of their kids. We went to Disneyland, and you know, it was a beautiful memory. It was a beautiful long car trip from Ontario. The car trip itself took days, and that was memorable, with all my sisters, 1987, in the minivan. And but there was something anticlimactic about it, because I knew I was supposed to be, you know, excited about Disneyland and Florida. But it was also like, whose idea was that? Obviously, my parents thought that was a great gift to give their kids and create that memory, and that was beautiful. But also, it's manufactured. That's what I'm here. That's what I'm pointing out with the term desire versus mimetic desire. Mimetic desires are the desires that are manufactured by others, and then I just adopt them. Like, I think that's a good idea. I'm gonna go take my kids to Disneyland, or I'm gonna want that thing. And the reason success feels hollow inside is because of that lack of connection to your true desire. When you get success and then you feel buyer's remorse, or you feel like that anticlimactic moment, it's because there's not a true fulfillment of your soul's desire. There's kind of a mimetic desire that's getting expressed there. Like, I need to have the car and have the house and have the those status symbols or virtue signals that are status symbols of themselves. So the work of, you know, coming in and down and going through the messy initiation and the katabasis of soul work is about getting in touch with what you truly desire. And when you're in touch with that, it's absolutely unique to you. Like, maybe it is Disneyland. I'm not saying it's not. But maybe it's just time at the beach. Maybe it's quality time with your loved ones. Maybe it's a different form of freedom. And there's a couple of mentors who I follow, and they have completely opposite lifestyles. Like, one of them has a $28 million mansion on the beach in Southern California, and all these luxury cars, and a you know, bikini model wife. And this is like such a picture perfect promised land that he lives in. And a lot of it, even though I love the guy and I love what I learned from him as a transformational leader, a lot of what he wants and how he fulfills his desires are not at all like what I want. And so I'm sharing this process to, you know, just also pull back the curtain on my own process, because I have other mentors who, instead of building an empire with their business, they build a lifestyle business. And there's this subtle nuance there, right? The difference between building an empire and building a lifestyle business that helps you fulfill the life of your true desire. And that could mean time freedom. I think we're in an era where there's different status symbols. Like, time freedom itself is a status symbol. Like, location freedom, where if you can work wherever you want and you can do your thing on your own terms, that's a flex. And of course, financial freedom, always. That's a perennial desire. But you want to not just ask yourself, like, why do I want more money? You want to ask yourself, like, for the reason why. Like, not just the money as an end point, but money as a means to an end. Money to express the fullness and the freedom of your vision. Yeah, I came across this idea today about the vision board. Everyone talks about having a vision board, but also a values board. And that's what really moves the world. When you're aligned with the values you want to be living, the magic of making that commitment to those values that you prioritize is that, by the law of vibration and attraction, you automatically find the others. You kind of find the others who are living with that value, those values, you know, those commitments, those priorities. And for me, it's freedom and sovereignty is a big one. Lifestyle freedom, health and fitness is wealth to me. So when I go to the gym, I'm paying myself. Quality time with my family, I'm paying myself. And that intergenerational wealth of being connected to my kids and learning, being on the learning journey together rather than having it be fragmented by the distortions of public school and the fragmentation of families. To me, one of my top priorities is family, is being able to stand strong on the earth with my people as free people. And in this journey of liberation from ignorance and liberation from stagnation and liberation from coercion and control and tyranny. So these are some of the values that I have, like freedom and family are two of the big ones. Integrity, like living in integrity with my word, living in integrity with the instructions that I receive from the source, like what I need to say yes to, even if it's scary. It reminds me of that part in the gospel, or I think when Jesus is supposed to carry his cross and do his big crucifixion thing, and he begs his father, like, if there could only be another way, because this is hard. This is really hard. And his prayer gets answered, no, like there is no other way. This is what you're here to do. You got to carry this cross and do this. And his absolute surrender in that moment to his purpose, which was, this beautiful prayer, thy will be done. Like, thy will be done. And I wrote my book, Alive on Purpose, because to me, that's the special sauce, and that's the X factor in the lives of men, because I coach men primarily. That's the X factor that makes men bulletproof, is when they put on that armor, that spiritual protection of that prayer for life and that faith, and they're able to say, no, I'm here to do my purpose. And then receive that vision and say, fuck it, I'm gonna make this happen because this is what I want. And the truth is, wanting comes from the heart more than the head. We need the head to kind of strategize and execute on the logistics, but the desire comes from here. This is where the power is. This is where the knowing comes from. This is where the vision comes from. This is the difference between sight, which happens with these things, where you can see reality clearly, and vision, which comes from here, the heart, the kingdom. The vision comes from the kingdom, and it comes from the source. So to me, that's also connected to the desire, because when you're connected to that source, then it moves from being little d desires, like the desire for junk food or candy or, instant gratification. Like, I'm not talking about little desires. I'm talking about deeper desires, or capital D desire. So hopefully there's something in there of what I shared for you to pick up on. And hey, Lava, nice to see your comment there, and nice red car there in your profile picture. Thanks for picking up what I'm putting down. I'm gonna jet. Wishing you a happy solstice. Thanks for being part of my YouTube live stream. Big love. Bye for now.